Today we're going to talk about some residential framing, you know?
Welcome back to Somerville. We are doing some more interior framing, and in today's video we're going to talk about building interior partition walls in a remodel setting. It's a little different than how we built the addition walls, or the partition walls in the addition. So we'll go over how we do those because it's a little bit different, especially in old houses where everything is everywhere. So let's jump into it. So we're gonna frame in a bathroom, but the tricky part is you want to set your top and bottom plates with the laser, and then cut each stud individually. Pretty good example of that. We've got 107 and a half, 107 and a quarter, 107 and 5/16. So all three of these are different. If you were to build this wall on the ground and then stand it up, big nightmares. So I'm going to try and finish up these partition walls, at least the explanation for you guys. So the last thing we talked about was setting your top and bottom plates first and then filling in all of the studs in between. So let's come over here, and what we like to do, so this is the wall I started framing, but now we've got the rest of the bathroom framed, so we can kind of talk about all of it. But basically, by nailing your top and bottom plate in plane and then cutting each of your studs afterwards, you can cut them so that you drive them to fit, and give it a couple hits of the hammer. That way you know everything is tight. This isn't necessarily a load-bearing wall, but you want everything to fit tight so that there's no like settling or moving or anything like that could potentially crack drywall. So when we do our partition walls, that's how we build them, and then we go through and we put a couple of toenails at the bottom and a couple toenails up at the top, and that makes for a pretty nice wall. Other than that, while going through, just make sure we drywall back it out too. So trying to think about this room on the inside corner to make sure that we have something to screw drywall to in the corners, so on and so forth. So, and then the cool thing is you can build partition walls out of big stuff like we did on the shower wall. This is a 2x8 wall. We did that. We had a little bit of extra room in this bathroom, so I wanted to burn some of that up so that we didn't have like a 4-foot toilet space over here where you'd have to like reach for the paper to do your business with. So we built a little bit bigger wall here, and then we were able to build a really cool soap niche out of the deal. And then because that wall is kind of all over the place, we built a new wall in front of it that is nice and plumb and straight and square, so that when we set the shower, it'll hopefully go a little easier in tile. We're also able to go through and add backing for a door. That way, when we hang the door, we've got good backing on either side to screw it into. These are all little details that go into the partition walls. Another little detail would be those little cross blocks. So we put those in to hang our top plates from. And then usually we'll put like some smaller scraps up on top and run a screw up through the top plate. That way we get a ceiling backer for drywall on the ceiling. So plenty of good stuff in the interior partition walls. But the biggest thing to take away from this video is to make sure you put your top and bottom plates in first and then fill in your studs afterwards. Building these on the floor and standing them up is just not a good idea. So I think that's going to wrap up the remodel interior partition walls, which is a little bit different than how we do new construction partition walls. So do with that what you will, but that's some of the differences in the framing techniques that we use from new construction to old construction. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.